black people must be on crack in America. And I'm emphasizing the black people because for you to use that terminology in the year 2021, you must be smoking crack. Now, to look at the whole situation and the history of these so-called black people who got a long history that started before America. But for them to be in America, knowing the history of America, and to be calling themselves black people, that is something that is just horrendous. And they got to be smoking crack. But we gonna let the Lord talk to these people, man, because something got to be wrong. Now, in his word, he tell us in Deuteronomy 32, verse 7, he say, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show you thy elders, and they will tell you. If you don't know the history of your people in America, you must be smoking crack. And if you know the history of your peoples and you calling yourself black, you must be smoking crack. Now let's get into this video because, boy, hey, this high level ignorance, when the slave master called you a Negro or a niglet, and he said this word mean that you just ignorant. You the most ignorantest thing moving on the scene. He was not telling a lie. But I'm going to roll the video. All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Kakadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Now, that is the most horrendous thing to be heard in 2021. Knowing the history of these people that they calling black. Now, when you go into the definition, that tells the whole story because it gives you an understanding of the people that was calling you black. They was using the word Negro. The Negro come from Spanish. Spanish was the nation with Christopher Columbus killing Columbus. Let me correct myself. Christopher killing Columbus. He was from Spain. The so-called Jews was being expelled from Spain in 1492. When the Jews was being expelled from Spain in 1492, Christopher killing Columbus took some sugar, took some sugar cane down there to Cuba. So while he taking sugar cane down into Cuba, the Jews is being expelled from all these so-called European nations. And so happened out of the blue air, the blue sky, they end up on it's a bunch of darkies or black people as they call it, end up on a plantation making sugar cane into sugar, into molasses, and into rum. Is this a coincidence? And how are these people being kicked out of their house? Where they supposed to go? They've been expelled out of a whole country. Where is they supposed to go? You see, these people just can't go anywhere. They, you know, and if they do end wherever they end up at, they gonna be a stranger and a vagabond of somebody on the run that them just been kicked out of their land. They just pop up on somebody else's land. Well, what you doing here? Well, what you supposed to do? All you gonna be is a slave to whoever land you run to once Spain kick you out of there. But so happen that these people get kicked out of their land, and Christopher killing Columbus gonna find all this land over here, and all these Spaniards come running over here and they calling you Negro. That's the name they give you, Negro. They just call you one color, a color, black. Come on, man. The history is too detailed. Now, when you go into the scriptures, it tells you straight up the situation. But let me go get this definition of black, because this is just ridiculous. Now, you see the definition. It say of the color black. So that's where it comes from. A freaking color. Talking about you a color. Then Negro, because that's the Spanish, the people say black in Spanish. But look what the dragon put under that. Lacking light. I mean, you don't have the light of the Most High to know common sense that you is not a color. You don't represent a freaking color. All nations have that color. What are you talking about? It ain't but one nation that don't got the color. And the nation that don't got the color, they gave you their attributes. Wicked or evil. You see, the wicked gave you their attribute as in color form. They put their attribute on you. The wicked that the Bible speak of put their attribute on you in the form of black, because you lack in light. See, you lack in light. That's pretty much what black is all about. And they lack in light. You see, because they the color red, and they know that they are the wicked and that they are evil. They have no other choice but to admit it, because that was their whole purpose on the scene. And so when you look at these people sitting around here calling themselves black people, they got to be smoking crack, man. Now, I'm gonna give 2 precepts to shut it down, because these people don't know who the heck they are. Now, 2 scriptures give you your identity, man. 2 scriptures will give you your identity. It ain't even that difficult. Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord Yahweh shall bring you into bondage. But the Greeks put Egypt. Egypt is a Greek word that means bondage. Into Egypt again with ships. So you went into bondage again with ships, man. By the way thereof I spake unto you, you shall see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondman, slave man, and bondwoman, slave woman, and no man shall buy you. And to buy you, that means redeem you. They should not give you redemption. Redemption is going to be from the one that died to redeem you, to give you redemption. But I'll digress from that and give you more concrete evidence of that you not no freaking color. You greater than a color. Now we're getting Joel chapter 3. Getting straight to the point. 3 verse 1, it say, "For behold, in those days and at that time, when I shall bring again the slavery or the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem." Verse 3, Joel 3 verse 3. "And they shall cast lots for my people." That means they should sell your behind, "and have given a boy for an harlot," use boys for sexual activities, and for money, "and sold a girl for wine." Okay, you sold a girl so you can get some wine. Why you want to get the wine? That they might drink. So now you not only you selling the girl for wine, you want to drink wine. So you want to drink you some wine. You can call it rum. You can call it Bacardi. You can call it gin. You can call it vodka. You can call it brandy. You can call it whiskey. You can call it anything you want to call it, but we know what wine means. And the only people that was in a major slave trade was the so-called Negroes. On the bill, the slave, let's get this bill right quick. On the slave bill, it say, "to be sold to verily likely Negro." And from where my father is from, lately imported from Antigua. And why was they in Antigua? Not only that, it say per sale of likely Negro women or girls. You see? So the people was being sold, and they was being sold for wine, man. Salaki for the interruption. They was being sold for wine, and the wine was rum. The whole slave trade was about rum. In California, where they still are using the grapes for wine, the Native Americans was being used for that purpose. And so that's what's going on with who these individuals are. They were sold for wine so people can drink. They've been sold now and used now, slave labor, to create a wine industry, backbone of these European nations. So, the evidence is clear. It's on one people that went somewhere on slave ships, and they was being slaves because they was being expelled out of Spain, called Negroes, black, that's a color, because they didn't want to let people know who the people really was, but it's documented that the Jews was being expelled out of Spain. And it's documented that Spain went down there to Cuba and started the freaking sugar cane rum industry. Through molasses, they got the rum. And the slaves created the rum. It was a cheap, strong version that people weren't having a liking to. But they wound up gradually getting a liking to it, and it became big. And it was all because these children of Israel was being sold to these dragons, so they can drink some wine. America, George Washington, one of the most famous presidents, his campaign was all about giving wine to people, rum to people, so they can vote for him for president. That tells the whole story right there. And he had when he came in the picture, his daddy gave him 300 100-something slaves, and he married a woman that had 100-something slaves. So that about 300 slaves on his plantation when he a grown man with his wife. He chasing some Israelite woman around him that's like 15, 16, young woman. So ain't nowhere in the world that you got to be on crack. If you calling yourself black in 2021 with this type of information being pushed out at a high level, you got to be smoking crack cocaine. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Kakadash, double honor to the elders, pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. The kingdom is at hand. Shalom.